Hello everyone, Saturday today. I've just been down to get the strawberries. That's today's pick, quite a few there. We'll probably have to make some jam with this. As you can hear, there's thunder above us. I just timed it right, I think, although it's just beginning to rain now. So we'll get these in, get them ready for making jam, I think, and a little bit for tea as well. Okay then, we'll see you later. Hello, welcome to another week in the garden. It's Tuesday today, lovely day. We've just been down and done a little harvest, so we thought we'd show you what we've harvested. A few potatoes. They're still giving the skins up, so they're alright. Once the skins have set, you can lift them all and store them a bit, but while the skins are still peeling, it's best to use them as you take them. Couple of spring cabbage just to go with them. There's still a boiling of peas there. When the main crop comes through, we'll pick a lot and we'll freeze them, blanch them and freeze them. Courgettes always coming. They'll be sliced, blanched and frozen for the stews, etc. in the winter. Always useful. Now strawberries, well, what can we say? This is the second pick this week of this amount. Now we're getting that many. Most of these now will go for preserving. We'll never eat this lot. And also the red currants come through. There's a few raspberries that we've got and quite a few red currants. The black currants are following, the white currants are following. These will go for preserving. Maybe just a few on a pudding now and again, but I haven't used any fungicides, so we are losing quite a few to this wet weather, but as you can see, they're still coming well, and we're still not using chemicals, so everything that we grow tastes absolutely delicious. I can't recommend it enough that people try and grow some of these veg, because it's well worth it. And as I say, it's to sit down and have a meal with your own organic produce, out of this world. Tomorrow we're doing an update, so I still have to get the garden ready for you to look at. It's not too bad actually, it's just an odd weed once taken out. And then we'll start planning for the autumn crops then, because these will be long gone by then. Once we've had the walk round, we'll start and plan for the autumn, because although it's nice weather as it is now, we are changing season before you know it, so we need to plan ahead a little. Maybe tomorrow we'll have a look round and then we'll do a little plan. We'll go on the board in the shed and have a look. Okay. Hello everyone, here we are up at the greenhouse. This week we're having the walk round to show you how we're doing, what we're producing. So we're starting here. As you can see, as you look round the tomatoes, I've cleared the spaces a bit. I've thinned the foliage down so that the sunshine, what bit we're getting, get onto the fruit to ripen it. One or two are beginning to turn. These are the big boys, as they call them. They was pulling down on the bough, so I've had to put a little bit of a cradle on it. I'll get another one set up and do the job properly, but I thought I had to do it quick just to support it, else it would have snapped it clean off then. They're all nice and thin except this one, and I've left that because if you can imagine, when the whole greenhouse is like that, there's not much light going to get through. So I left that one to do so you can see how I do it, and then you can do yours to thin them down. So I'll just make some room. Well, the idea is to get some light in there, so when we are getting fruit on, the fruit will ripen. It won't ripen with behind all this. So I'll get on with it and then you can see what I do. There'll be quite a bit coming on. There we go. it looks quite drastic to do it, but that way now the light will get into the tomatoes that are there, and instead of producing more and more foliage, you'll produce more tomatoes. Cucumbers, there is a cucumber on there ready to come off actually at the back. I'll take that off tomorrow if you can't get in there at the moment. That's what you do, keep the foliage down and let the light and air in. They appreciate it. As you can see, it's a lot better. When I first came in this morning, it looked like a privet hedge. You couldn't see a tomato in it. But now, light can get in, sunshine can get in, they'll be fine. Just popped in the shed to look at the board. As you can see, everything we said we were going to do, we've done on each one of the beds. We'll see how it's doing, and then we'll make another little list of what we're going to put in for the winter, well, autumn. Remember, if we're doing the brassicas, that anything we put in for the autumn has got to go in this bed. That was the bed that was prepared for the brassicas, so you can't put brassicas in any other bed. The winter crops that we will be putting will be mainly brassicas, so they have to go into B because that's the one that's been prepared. Right, here we are, bottom of the garden. From here on up it's uphill, so we'll work our way up. The few pumpkins that we lost, I've put some more in for the granddaughter. Whether they get there or not, we'll have to wait and see. They are growing well. Under the frames there's a few carrots and a few Swedes there. I'll have to thin those right down. I should thin these down to 3 or 4 inches apart, but I got rid of all the old seed we had. If you remember the carrot crop that was decimated with the pigeons and the rabbits, I've actually reset. They are coming through, but they're terribly late. But I do like these nets. I think these, we'll use more and more of these. They do actually keep the pests off. They're a nuisance. They're late. We might make something, we might not. What I'm thinking for next year, and I'm going to work on it through the winter, is to do a little bit shorter than this. And I'm going to raise it on some timbers, make a bed especially for the carrots, and then mount one of these on top. I keep trying on this old land, but it just won't grow a carrot, but we keep trying, we'll see. A few spare leeks there. What I do with this long bed here is anything that's left over when we do the long rows I put in here. Instead of throwing them away, I just line them out. They're doing rather well to say. There's a few French beans that I had left over there, so I just dropped them in. Slugs have had 1 or 2, but down here it doesn't really matter. Courgettes, we're actually blanching and freezing quite a few. Pick them every day. Again, the few broad beans we had left over, I just put them in there. I've actually dropped a couple of pumpkins in the middle because these will be gone soon and they'll no doubt take over all this area. Likewise, a few potatoes there we had, like, you know, the very small ones when we planted, I just put them in there rather than throw them away. And then there's a few more courgettes. Different variety this one, it seems to do a bit better. As I say, we've been cutting a lot off these. Now this is the celery. This was absolutely taken back with the rabbits took to this. They absolutely took them back to ground level, so they've come on rather well. Whether they'll make it or not, we'll have to wait and see, but they have recovered well. I'm quite pleased with that. If you look at the fruit trees, you can see now they've been summer pruned, they're nice and tidy they look, and they're doing well. When I had all the trouble with the pigeons, somebody gave me this hawk to keep them off. I don't know whether it's a hawk or the protective netting that we put on everything, but we haven't had any trouble since. If you look at the fruit trees now, they've all been summer pruned, all looking very well. Nice and neat. Remember, soon we'll be changing the grease bands, maybe the end of the month. These are the tomatoes I had left over. I put them outside. They're doing okay. I see there's 1 or 2 beginning to turn. They will be a bit behind the others, but they are growing all right. I have put a little bit of feed on these with them being outside. I thought with all the rain we've had, the garden would be well washed out, so I did feed the tomatoes. Parsnips doing rather well at the top. I'm not expecting a great lot at the bottom because on this land it's very, very difficult to grow any root crop. We'll see how we go with that. Beetroot's doing very, very well. I need to go in there in the next day or so and lift some of the bigger ones out to thin them a bit. They're all well spaced, but they are getting, especially around the middle there, they're getting quite big. So they're doing fine. Potatoes, this is the main crop, what you can see here. Well sprayed for blight. I do it every week. This is blight weather now, so you must get on with that spraying. Keep on top of it, and they'll be fine then. Early potatoes, you can tell the difference in these lighter colour foliage. They are doing better now than what they were. When I first started lifting them, they were very, very poor. But now they're getting a lot better now, so I'm quite pleased with those now. Kohlrabi, that was eaten off by the rabbits, but they're recovering. We've had a few. It makes very good coleslaw. The ones that are not going to make it now, I'll just scrub those out. As you can see, this other row of tomatoes are doing fine. Nice colour, nice fruit coming. I shall only let them get near the top of these sticks and then take them off. I was going to take them off down here, but they seem to be doing that well. I've put another stick in. Right, if you remember early in the year, we took on these. Thought would be alright. I put dwarf plants in. As you can see, they've not made anything. They're pushing up against the cover, so this is a brilliant idea, but not for us. If I just show you, they are the nice bit of cabbage there, look, that's come through nice and clean. They are doing the job. I love the way you can keep the crops clean, but I don't like the smallness of it. So what I've done is I've created my own. So these are a bit too small. We'll keep them for the salad crops, and anything small we want to put in. I've made these, which is very similar to the one we built for the carrots, and I'm going to replace those covers with these. As you can see, the plants are a lot better in there. They're standing a bit better now. I actually made this one last night and I built it this morning, so it wants cleaning inside yet. I'll do that this afternoon. If you see here, look, everything is doing fine, but what I want to show you while we're at this cauliflower, if I can get to it, look, remember, if you just leave it like that, it'll probably go yellow and lose its whiteness. So what we do, if you bring those over, look, like that, yeah, take that one as well, and then put elastic band on it. I'll do this one twice, it's quite a big band. There you go, and that will keep the sun off it, keep it nice and white. And if you want to look at it later on, just look in the side, and when it's ready, you'll have a lovely white cauliflower. I'll do all the cauliflowers like we've just tied the top of that one. I'll do all these over the next day or so. I'm hoping over the next few days to take these covers off, cover these three with the new covers. Gives us a bit more room. The salad crops, the lettuce coming on nicely. I've got the other lettuce in front of the shed. I'll pop this here tomorrow. The beetroot, well, I'm going to pull that this week. As you see, that one's blowing up, so it needs clearing now. We'll get those out and put more lettuce there, I think. Onions, still struggling for onions. This year's been a bad one. Radish are always coming through nice. So that's just the next batch of lettuce for that one that are following on. A few outdoor summer cabbages there. Now they was leftovers. I've been spraying regular with a bit of fairy liquid, and they seem to be alright, not? Well, there's one or two little insects on them there. That's all they've had is washing up liquid, and Alright, sometimes I might do it twice a week, but it's not hurting the plant, as you can see. It seems to be working. Broad beans, they're ready for picking. We'll probably take these early next week, take the whole crop out, blanch them, freeze them down ready for winter, and take this out. There's some French beans here. Remember, we put those climbers in the cage, and we put these here as backups just in case they didn't go well. Both are coming now. So onion patch, and this was prepared for the onions and leeks and beans and peas. These have been manured well, so this is where the onions, and we've had to put the leeks in the side of. This is the main crop. The ones we saw down there is just a bit left over. That's been knocked over, look, but it'll recover. Onions, I don't know about onions this year. They don't seem to have done so well as other years, and the bed was prepared as well as normal, and as some of them haven't moved at all. We'll see when we harvest, and we'll see what we get out of there. But there's one or two thick necks. They're doing all right, but a better crop last year. Let's hope we can do better crop next year. Do anything for these now, but just let them finish. Take them out, ripen them off, and string them up and see what we can do. The peas, it says on the packet that they get to about 2 meters. Well, they have made it, so we can't complain about that. But the taste of these are very, very nice. These are the summer autumn raspberry mix. We have to pick what we can see of. We're still undecided, but I think next year we're going to grub these and start again with the raspberries. These are a couple of blackcurrant. They actually moved them this year, so I wasn't expecting any crop at all from them. They have done a little bit, so we'll pick those later. This one was moved this year as well, so that's going against the odds. We're climbing French bean, doing all right, but I'm glad I set the backup row. Plenty of muck under them and everything. They just don't seem to go very well. Never mind. Strawberries have been a massive crop this year. I don't know whether it's because of the rain. The size of the berries, look. The berries have been huge, and they just keep coming and coming. You'd have thought we'd need more sunshine to make good strawberries, but my goodness, we've had a crop off these. Right, the gooseberries, as you can see, we didn't expect a lot from these yet because they're very young plants. These are the red ones. As you can see, they're doing all right. There's lots of berries on a young plant, but when we've cropped them, I'll prune this into a nice shape for next year, get it off the ground a bit. Likewise with this one. The red currants, we've had a massive crop off these plants at the bank. They'll be made into preserves, jam, or some other preserve for the winter. We've left these few on these 3 bushes. We'll be picked tomorrow, and we'll take these to my daughter. Just a few to keep her going. She'll be happy with that. White currants, very nice those. It's nice to see white currants. You don't see them that often now. They look like pearls, don't they? Beautiful. If you can remember this currant, this is the black currant that was very, very slow to come into leaf. It's getting there. If you think they're green berries, and the one next to it is covered in black, these will be ready for next week. I've actually propped them up with sticks to keep them off the floor a bit, so they don't get so dirty and the slugs don't get them. So I've propped those up. The cherry, Morello cherry, I think this will be its 3rd year we've been with us, but as you can see, there's quite a nice crop there. We're looking for berries as dark as that, maybe a little bit darker before we pick them. With this net on, at least the birds won't get them. I'll do the training in a week or so, because there's still some more new shoots coming, which I need to take those off anyway. And we'll put some more wires on there to take these up. It's a very pretty tree when it's in fruit, so we look forward to maybe another 2, maybe 3 years before we really get it up to standard, and then we'll be pulling quite a few nice cherries off it. I water them twice a day now. Well, I have been for a while. They seem to be doing rather well. I just wish I could see a bit more fruit, but plenty of growth. We took quite a few tomatoes off the, well, the chickens are. We'll see how we go. But they come in, they'll be fine. Take you, do we? Where's the others? Are they laying? Because of the quantities of the crop we're getting now, we just had 20 minutes picking, and we're going to pop this up to my daughters, the main crop. At least they will be eating well today. Hello everyone, Friday again. It's I think it's going to rain today, I hope not. So, but another week's gone very quick. Been a strawberry week this week. We must have had 10-12 kilo of strawberries this week. Been a very, very good year for strawberries. I think it's this damp weather that's brought them on. Huge berries. Anyway, moving on. It's coming time of year, as I said earlier, that you need to be thinking about your autumn produce. The summers will be running out, then we need to think what we're going to do. I've planted some, I don't know if you can see them over there. I planted some of the Brassicas seed in. Now it's starting to rain, so we need to get on. I planted some. I put some more kale and cauliflower all year round, etc., and winter cauliflower, spring. I put those in the garden under clutches. They'll be up in time. If you haven't really thought about it yet, do get your seedsman catalogue, because I've had to move the camera because it's beginning to rain already. This is really old. We've come under the canopy of the vine. As I was saying, the seedsman will supply you with young plants, and they'll send them when they're ready. So if you haven't set your seed and got your plants going, start looking at your catalogues. The other thing I'm doing today between the showers is I'm painting these frames. I'm making my own, and then I'm putting a bigger sheet over them. So this is what these are for. I put one up, as if you remember, this week. This is for the next one. I've got the sheet ready. I've just got to get them painted. I give them one coat, and then when they come in from the autumn to be stored for the winter, we'll give them another coat before they do. I just haven't got time to give them 2 coats, but they'll be fine. They will. I'll get this probably painted today and up tomorrow. We can use those small covers for different things later on. So as I say, Friday, another good week. Things are coming on very well. We're harvesting. My poor wife is struggling to keep up with the blanching and the freezing of the produce now, but we're getting there. The thing is to get it out the garden and get it frozen or eaten while it's nice and fresh. Fill your freezer up out your garden. The tomatoes have decided to start ripening at last, so we might have some tomatoes in a week or so. Everything else is doing fine. The grapevine's going strength to strength. We'll call it for this week before we rain. Hopefully I'll see you next week. Although the weather's against us, do keep your gardening, keep getting out there and getting some fresh air if nothing else. Okay, bye now.